This video is sponsored by Project to Payment. More on them in a minute. One of my favorite parts about being a cleaning business owner is the return on investment, or ROI. In other words, you can build a crazy profitable cleaning business without a lot of startup money. And if I was starting my cleaning business over from scratch, the costs I'm breaking down in this video are what I would expect to pay to get my business going again. And don't worry, it's not as much as you may think. In fact, you may even see some things missing from this list that will surprise you. So be sure to watch until the very end, which will ensure you don't spend more money than you need to get your cleaning business cranking. And remember, this video is about startup costs. So I'm not going to cover the free stuff like picking your business name or setting up a free email account. I have another video that covers that in more detail, which I will link below. Okay, let's get to work. First, let's talk about the legal stuff. Once you know your business name, it's time to make it legal. This process varies by country and even state to state, but you need to legalize your business before doing any actual cleaning. In the United States, you will likely either register as a sole proprietor or as an LLC. And in many states, there isn't a huge price difference between the two. But I would really recommend you start as an LLC if you can. So those are the fees I'm going to cover. Before I quote prices, please remember these are the fees as of the time of making this video, but they can always go up. And these fees are if you file yourself, directly with the state. These do not cover accountant fees if you decide to go that route. Obviously, it's cheaper if you can do it yourself. So in Colorado, where I live now, the initial LLC fee is just $50. In Florida, where I used to live and run my business, it is $125. Colorado is actually one of the most affordable states, and Florida is kind of in the middle. But some states are way more expensive, like Texas at $300 and Massachusetts at around $500. Now be aware that some states also have recurring annual fees. But since this video is about startup costs, we won't get into that now. But in Colorado, that's only another $10 a year. So to find your state's fee, simply Google your state's Secretary of State or Department of State and look for the fee schedule. And write down the amount of the initial LLC filing fee. Next up, if a business license is required where you live, then you may also need to pay a fee for that. But this is something else that you would need to Google, since it varies so much place to place. And the last startup cost in this section is your insurance. In most cases, you don't need to be bonded or need workers' compensation, but you will need general liability insurance. Check out this video where I explain all of that in detail. But at the time of making this video, I only pay around $65 a month for a $2 million general liability policy. You can get free quotes from a variety of providers, or even find a local agent to compare rates for you. But below, I have a link for Next Insurance, which is a good place to start. It only takes a few minutes, so get your free quote today. So to recap, here are my startup costs so far. Next up, let's talk about marketing. The only thing I recommend getting when you're just starting out is business cards. Right now, don't worry about a website or printing flyers or buying branded clothing. Inside my coaching program, I talk about when to use those other tools. But for now, just start with high-quality business cards since they can help you make an excellent first impression. There are a lot of providers online, and I've used a few of them, but my current recommendation is Moo. And if you use the link in my description, you'll get 20% off your first order. They have a variety of paper options and templates, and your initial order will likely be somewhere between $40 and $50, or less if you use my special link below. Yes, there are cheaper options out there, but trust me, a high-quality business card can be the most powerful marketing tool you invest in. And handing just one of those cards to the right person can lead to a 5 or even 6-figure relationship. So go for quality. Well, this brings our startup costs so far to this. Now let's go over bank accounts and software. Once you have your business documentation, then you can set up your bank account. And honestly, I wouldn't necessarily call bank fees part of your startup costs, but some banks do require a certain amount of money to open your account. Not all do, but some do. So let's call that $100. Then we'll throw in another $15 for your first month's fee. Some banks might be more, others less, and some may even offer free business accounts. Once you have your bank account, then you'll need a way to invoice customers. And this is a great time to talk about the sponsor of this video, Project to Payment. I care a lot about finding solutions for my business that will keep my expenses low and my profits high. But I also need quality solutions that just plain work. And that's why Project to Payment is my favorite tool for all things invoicing. I love it because its simple design makes getting paid by your clients a breeze. And in addition to all the great invoicing and payment features, you also get an easy way to manage your customers, send estimates, receive project requests, and so much more. The team over there loves supporting small businesses, which is why they set their cost at just $20 a month for as many users as you need. But if you use my special link in the description below to sign up, then you'll get 3 months free, making your startup costs even lower. So be sure to check them out. Okay, back to the video. The next thing you might be considering is CRM software, which stands for Customer Relationship Management. Basically, it's a place to track your current customers and prospective customers. But good news, I would recommend you use Project to Payment for that too. And they are constantly building new features to give you even more functionality for managing your customers. Some might say you need QuickBooks, and it's definitely nice to have, but I'm not including it in here since it really isn't a requirement right away. You can add that later once you have money rolling in. Okay, we have one more section to consider, but let's check in to see where we are so far. Last but not least, supplies and miscellaneous. So supply costs will vary quite a bit depending on the type of cleaning you want to do. For instance, if you do construction cleaning, then you'll need your own shop vac to take from job to job, among other things. But in most types of cleaning, I make my clients provide the vacuum so that I'm not cross-contaminating properties. But besides that, check out my Amazon store linked below and click on the list called Cleaning Business Starter Kit. If I were starting over, I would buy most of what's on that list. But again, your needs might be different. Depending on what you feel you may need from that list, you'd be somewhere between $300 and $500. So I'll take the average and call it $400. After supplies, it's time to think about your work attire. When I cleaned luxury residential, I wore running shoes, nice jeans, and a polo shirt. But more than anything, it's just important to look professional, both when you interview and when you clean, if you'll be doing the cleaning. So let's add $300 for that. So this brings our total startup costs to this. And again, if I were starting my cleaning business over today, this is what I would expect it to cost me. Some other items to quickly list though. If you're driving from job to job or driving around doing bids, then your transportation and fuel costs may be more than what they are now. Eventually, you should probably get a P.O. box unless you're okay using your home address for business purposes. I definitely recommend you hire a trusted accountant once you're able to. And last but not least, hopefully you see the value in hiring a mentor like me to accelerate your cleaning business growth. So if you're interested in working with me, then below all my videos, you'll find a link to my coaching program. Thank you again to Project to Payment for sponsoring this video. You'll find a link below where you can get 3 months free. And remember, entrepreneurship is about investing your money wisely. Do that from the beginning, and you will set yourself up for long-term success. For more cleaning business advice, watch this video next. And as always, let's build what you want together.